And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Olive, Nina, and Esme. Olive, Nina, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. "Sweep the floors, wash the dishes," said Olive, Nina, and Esme. One day, the king of Onlyville's messenger said, hear ye, the king of Onlyville is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Singling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Olive said, he's going to marry me. Nina said, no way, Olive. He's going to marry me. Esme said, both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Singling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what is wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I wanted her to go to the ball and marry Prince Singling, but I'm not welcome. The fairy godmother waved her wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! And then, Cinderella's chores are all done. But the fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has one pumpkin. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! Again, and to turn Cinderella's do-rag and clothes into a gown. I've never seen such a wonderful gown. I get a load of my glass slippers, and then the pumpkin into a carriage drawn by 2 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, have fun, Cinderella, but I will warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Singling was wondering who he should marry. Olive, Nina, and Esme said all together, he's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Singling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Singling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Onlyville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where her Cinderella and her stepsisters lived. He said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try this glass slipper? Olive is first, but her foot is too big. Nina is next, but her foot is too small. Esme is last, but her foot didn't fit either. Suddenly, Prince Singling noticed Cinderella singing. Cinderella said, Prince Singling, is that you? Prince Singling said, of course it's me. Cinderella gets so excited because she's having to have her Prince Singling back. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story before bed enters doors. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to my video. Take care. Bye and good night, everybody. And now, Internet Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 5 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha. Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha all together. Then one day, the king of Autolihan's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Autolihan is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Autobling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. They then argue over who will Prince Autobling marry. Later, Cinderella is so sad that she can't go to the ball and marry Prince Autobling while doing chores. Suddenly, her fairy godmother asks Cinderella what's wrong by saying, Why are you crying, Cinderella? Cinderella responds, I got lots of chores to do, but I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Autobling. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic, and waved her magic wand. Because of that, Cinderella's chores are all done, but her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has a pumpkin. Cinderella's fairy godmother waved her magic wand again to turn the 8 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 16 strong horses, and then Cinderella's rich clothes into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, I've never seen such an terrific gown. Get a load of my glass slippers. Her fairy godmother said, Have fun, Cinderella, but I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken and everything will change back to the way it was before. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Autobling was wondering who he should marry. Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha say all together, He's walking towards me! But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Autobling danced happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. Prince Autobling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled all around out on a hand to find her and brought the two glass slippers with him. By the time he arrives, he knocks on the door of the house where Cinderella, Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha lived. But instead of Cinderella, he finds Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha. He then says, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can you try on these glass slippers?" Eliza is first, but her foot is too big. Isabella is next, but her foot is too small. The rest did the same, but none of their feet were the right size. Suddenly, Prince Toppling notices Cinderella's sweet scene. The glass slippers fit! And Cinderella gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Toppling back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. And Andrew Stewards, I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merch and dice too. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Free Fuzz of 375 Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young old girl named Free Fuzz of 375 Cinderella. Free Fuzz of 375 Cinderella had 36 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ellie, Amy, Tilly, Haley, Ophelia, Uniqua, Sasha, Alana, Nelia, Dahlia, Tara, Herda, Ruby, Emery, Lisa, Hilda, Ursula, Nadina, Daisy, Raina, Eleanor, Dottie, Sophia, Estrella, Veronica, Esme, Naomi, Terry, Yadina, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella. All 36 of them made fun of Free Fuzz of 375 Cinderella and made her do all the chores. Free Fuzz of 375 winch, sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all! Set the 36 stepsisters all together. One day, the king of Free Fuzz of 375 Ham's messenger arrives and says, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Free Fuzz of 375 Ham, his majesty, is going to throw a ball with lots of food, and after dinner at 10 o'clock, whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son. Prince Trimilla Queen Septuaginta Tricentupling. Can I come?" asks Free Fuzz of 375 Cinderella. But she's not well invited. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. "He's going to marry me," said Tasha. "No way, Tasha, you're wrong. He's going to marry me," said Hannah. "Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me," said Rena. The rest say, "All three of you are wrong. He's going to marry." They even tear Free Fuzz of 375 Cinderella's best party dress. Later, at 8 o'clock at night, Free Fuzz of 375 Cinderella is distraught, upset, and sad, doing chores about not going to the ball. Suddenly, Free Fuzz of 375 Cinderella, fairy godmother, asks a rising commenter, There now, Free Fuzz of 375 Cinderella. I can help with a bit of magic. Nobody will know it's you," she said. And so, she waves her magic wand to do all the chores for Free Fuzz of 375 Cinderella. She said, but she's not done yet. She says, "Free Fuzz of 375 Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice." Luckily, Free Fuzz of 375 Cinderella has Free Fuzz of 375 pumpkins and 6,750 mice. 3,375 umbrellas. Fairy Godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 3,375 pumpkins into a handsome coach. 6,750 mice into horses, and then 3,375 rags into a gown and crown. 3,375 says, I've never seen such a Tribella Queen Septuagentuple Tastic gown. Get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy Godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? And climbs into the coach. 3,375 Arella says, Fairy Godmother says, well, you can't. But have fun, 3,375 Arella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to normal. And gives her a clock to tell her what time it is. And so, it's 9 o'clock now. And so, 3,375 Rolla accepts the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, the king of Trimilla, Quin's Setua, Ginta Trace and Tumlingham says, good evening, everyone. My son, Prince Trimilla, Quin Setua, Gintopling, was wondering who to marry. Isn't that right, son? In which Prince Trimilla, Quin Sentua, Ginta, Tricentennial responds, yes, father. At 10 o'clock, 3,375 arrives at the ball for the food first, just in time. 3,375 then sees Prince Trimilla, Quin Setua, Gintra, Tricentopling. 3,375 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are saying, he's walking towards me altogether. But Prince Trimilla Quin said to Ginta Tricentopling is not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 3,375 After dinner, Prince Trimilla Quin Sentua Ginta Tricentopling asks, may I have this dance? And so 3,375 responds, I would be delighted. 3,375 and Prince Trimilla Quin Sentua Ginta Tricentopling dance happily together. But later, as 3,375 checks her clock, it's almost midnight! And so she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. The next day, Prince Trimilla Quin Centupling, Setua Ginter Tricentopling was really worried that he might never see 3,375 again. The king of 3,375 ham, aka Trimilla Quin Centupling, comforts him by saying, there now, son. I think we'll be able to find my dear daughter-in-law 3,375 And so, the king of Trimilla Quin Centupling, aka 3,775 and Prince Trimilla Quin Centupling travel all around the neighborhood to find 3,375 and brought the glass slipper with them. By the time they arrived, they knocked on the door of the house where 3,375 and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 3,375 they find her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters, Tasha to Ella. Prince Trimilla Quin Setua Ginta Tricentopling then says, ladies, my father, the king of Trimilla Quin Setua Ginta Prince and Tumbling and I have a favor to ask. Can Annie try on this glass slippers? Tasha is first, but her feet are too big. Hannah is next, but her feet are too small. Nonsense! It fits! She said. The rest are the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, the king of Trimilla Quinsetuaginta, Tres and Tumlingham, and Prince Trimilla Quinsetua Jin Trace and Tumbling noticed 3,375 sweet singing. Prince Trimilla Quinn Centaur joined Tumbling, Your Majesty. Is that you guys? She hollered excitedly. The king of Trimilla Quinsetua Jin Tumblingham says, My dear daughter-in-law, we found you. Will you marry my son? And so the glass slipper fits. And 3,375 Arala. The king of and the prince Antonio live happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. And I've been debating on making some sequels. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrews Everything, and buy our merchandise at AndrewsEverything.com. And if you want to see maybe someday 3,375 Arala 2, 3,375 wishes come true, something like that, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And take care. Bye.